because her birthday is coming up.
Mhm.
I got an idea. Okay, I can just
Wait,
give
who's?
yours, Marissa Serafini, in a few
Oh,
months.
mine.
Well,
I was
less than a
like,
few. Well, you
I
both.
don't
Well,
know. I
actually,
didn't want to assume.
Yeah, I have
both
one
have
coming
birthdays
up
coming
too.
up.
Wait,
Yeah,
when's your birthday?
July 1st.
Okay, July babies. I'm July 18th.
Nice. Okay, good. See, we got
Happy,
some synergy already. I love
there
it.
you go. Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday to you too.
Now I got an
Are
idea.
you doing anything fun for it?
Mm. Um, the only thing that I'm doing for my birthday is at the end of the month. Melissa Etheridge and Jewel are playing at the Yamava Theater. So I've
Nice.
got my tickets. I'm a huge Melissa Etheridge fan. I'm so excited.
Get it. Good. Good for you. I'm
How about
going
you?
to I'm going to a tropical island. I I'm like,
What?
legit. I think I told James. I don't remember. This could have been in the last time I saw you. Yeah, because fortunately, as of the last couple of weeks, I'm officially student debt free. And so I
That's
yeah,
exciting.
thank you. So I called my aunt, who's a travel agent, and I was like, "Yo, I actually do have a lot of money saved up. I want to be your typical millennial on a typical cliche tropical beach, reading a book, sipping wine, ignoring all the people." I was like, "Give me Aruba, Bahamas, Costa Rica, anywhere in that vicinity." So she gave me a bunch of options. I have yet to decide. So,
Wow.
and I just got PTO time approval for the week of my birthday.
So you
So
are
that's what
you're
I'm
like
doing.
almost there.
I'm like mentally already ready.
You're already there. Wow, that's exciting.
That
Hmm.
is.
I'm
Well,
very
I've been to
excited.
Costa Rica and I've been to Bahamas. I've never been to Aruba, but I've been down there. I was in Barbados. I was close enough. I never been to Aruba, but I think any place you
What were you
choose, you
doing
can't live.
there?
What?
What were you doing there?
So what happened was one of my cruises left out. We went so my stepmother and I left out of Puerto Rico. So we went to Miami for a while, partied there. Went to Puerto Rico, so my family partied there, and then it was an 8 day cruise, and so it was great because every morning you woke up somewhere new. So there were no days at sea. You were just like literally, or just you traveled at night, wake up, new island, and the farthest down they went was Barbados. Then we turned
Okay.
around and came back. So it was Dominica, Saint Kitts, Saint Thomas, Saint Lucia, Barbados, Antigua, and one other place. And we did all that. But I've been wanting to go to
Nice.
Aruba, Curacao. That's all the Dutch West Indies. I want to go down there, and I
Yeah.
just I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, I was looking, and like my aunt, she sent me a bunch of flight times, and Dominican Republic actually has like some of the more convenient flight times for me, and Aruba had the worst. I'm like, how tired do I want to be when I get there? It really just depends on like the time I want to depart from
I
this
want to tell you
country.
something, Marissa. One
But
of my favorite places in the Caribbean, where it was just beautiful and it was relaxing, was Bahamas. When I went to Paradise
yeah,
Island, and there was sandals there. They have a house. I didn't do sandals, but I was adjacent to it. And it was
mhm.
just really relaxing. It was pretty. It was like paradise, like literally was. And I loved it.
Nice.
So I was just kind of anyway. You can't. I think you can't go wrong with any of them because literally you'll be on an island relaxing. So I told you Costa
Yeah.
Rica. I feel like because I had adventures down there. I did the zip lining. So I feel like that's you. I see that's another part of Marissa, but you may not want to do that. I mean, like
Yeah.
right now, you want to
That
relax.
was my first option I gave to my aunt. I was like, I'm thinking Costa Rica or anywhere somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Like, figure it out for me. Do your work, and I will
Zero.
stop.
But that's her. I know
I was
that's
like, you
Marissa's
work for
other
me.
side. Marissa has
Yeah.
the athletic side, and then as I was like, that's I say I think Costa Rica would fit your athletic side. I don't know if you relax that much.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither. I mean, like I did two extremes, I can relax all day or work out all day. There's nothing in between. So I think Costa Rica fits for me. I did look at the prices. I was like, and money comes and goes. I can afford it.
Well, Marissa, I think
So,
I'm a little older
yes,
than you, and I can absolutely affirm that money
a
does come
little.
and go. So 100% on your page.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm actually financially I'm in a better place. And like, this is kind of like the first time I was like, I could spend whatever much money I want and not really give two craps about it. So I'm
Nice.
doing it. Yeah. I'm
Good.
just like,
Travel.
I need a proper vacation.
Yeah.
So
Everyone, yeah, we understand that. Everyone should do it, and I think why not? I think literally money does come and go. I mean, it's about life and
yeah.
experiences. I mean,
Yeah.
and see the world. I love it. I love seeing the world. So I mean, that's what I give
Absolutely.
my old job with the insurance company. That's how I met Melissa. I got these names, cheese crackers. Um,
Eminem.
I know. So
Hey.
I'm like, oh my
Right.
god, Melissa. Okay. Oh my god, my sister,
Thing
my
one, thing two.
I get it. Yes, and you
Just
both.
call
And
it.
it's funny. I'm friend. Here's what's funny. So I've known Melissa since God time began, but I've known you, Marissa, for almost you said almost 10 years or something like that. So I've known you both like significant times of my life. And I actually I'm looking at both of you. There's some similarities. I see why I'm friends with both of you. You both just laughed at the same time. I love it. I see why. I see
I'm
why.
like,
I
please,
can both of
please
you.
elaborate.
Well, I just feel like both of you guys are strong women. That's just number one. No, don't take no bleep from people, which I like. And you both are
Yeah.
nice people, which I like that also. Marissa's Miss Midwest, in the Midwest. You know, they're nice over there. But you both are hard workers. Take pride in your work. Both have
Mhm.
great sense of humor. We laugh a lot. Laugh a lot with Melissa. Laugh a lot with Marissa. It's so funny to me. They both love me, so that's all that really matters. I mean that's number one. I'm a lot. LOTT.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do love you.
But you knew me when.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew James, or like I started to know you at a different time in your life when you were making a big switch. So
Yes.
Melissa, you've been with him for his entire life. You see more of his different careers, personalities. I've seen like one really main career of his hosting, and then he's branched off into musician, writer, from
Yeah.
author from there. But that I feel like that was like literally a pivotal time in your life where you were making a life switch.
And this is
So,
even
and you
more.
saw me when I made a life switch. So
Yeah, you too. We both were actually. And then
yeah.
Melissa and I met. I got into this insurance industry like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And
What kind of insurance?
Melissa,
Oh, yes. Property and casualty insurance. So James and I go way, way back when we were young.
yes,
I was considered a young agent at one point in my
I
career.
remember that. Yes, that's funny. Yes,
And
Really?
we used to host these conferences for young agents to gather and learn and party. And James was
yes.
on the education piece of the learn part. So I was involved on the committee, and James and I got to know each other through working hung over during the day, let's be
Yes.
honest,
Yes.
and then partying at night. So I got to see a serious James,
Hmm.
right, during the day, and then party James, which fabulous. I'll take party James any day
Well,
of
that's
the
like
week.
life work balance, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So we do go
Amazing.
way back. And I always credited James. You wouldn't know it now, but I was shy.
Yeah.
And so I had to walk into a classroom full of colleagues and like do this little spiel of announcing the speaker and describing the class. And I was really nervous because I was taking it way too seriously. And James was so sweet to me. He put his hands on my shoulder and he said, "You've got this. It's okay. Don't worry. Just go in and like be your best self." And so I marched right in, right? And I did it and I was sweating, but I got through it because James gave me that little pep talk. And he was so sweet about it too. I will never forget that as long as I live.
You know what? That
So,
doesn't surprise me at all. That's very James.
I'm gonna say, you know me,
'Cause,
Marissa.
yeah,
That's me. I'm like,
I was like, yeah, I'm like, of course he
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
but my thing is like just.
I feel like I gave like mini pep talks to James before his shows,
Oh yeah, you
but
did. Oh, you did. Yeah.
not like to that extent. But it was more like you and I, we work so fast and so often. We're like, let's go. Like, just sit down and we'll figure it out as we go. Like, fuck it, we'll do it live. Kind of
I,
literally that mentality.
I felt in good hands with her, and I was, and that's the thing. You just like I said, I did to you. She gonna do to me before a show, because when you're doing a show, because we're in a studio and there's cameras. I have a guest sometimes, and you have co-hosts, and like there's a lot going on, and so like you're just like hyped up, or things are hyped up, and she was just like, we'll work it out. Don't worry about it. I could try this or do this, and I just felt like when I went in with her, it was like it was always gonna be okay. We'll figure it out. We're gonna make it happen. But she'd always like. And see, Marisa was so good. She'd be like this. After a while, there was no verbal communication. She's like, she'd come in, and you always clip her hair. She always had hair. You both have hair too. I don't think you both have hair. And then she'd be like,
yeah.
This.
I was like,
she's like, got it. Okay. And I should just look at me. I got it. I didn't have to worry about it. Because guys, I like there's like no verbal communication after a while. We were that good together. It was like, okay, I got it.
Yeah. It was such a
So
short
Marisa, what were you doing for James in the studio?
So James and I met at AfterBuzz TV, which was podcasting network for after shows, television, anything television, movies, books, nerd, pop culture central. I was one of the main senior content producers there. So I engineered shows, recorded video, we uploaded them to YouTube, iTunes, live streamed it also, and like wrangle. I mean, I wore so many hats there.
Yes.
Like the list is way too long to like we'd be here all day. But James knows. But it got to the point where my main thing was like making sure all the trains ran on time. I'd wrangle people into the studio, get them out, like reset for the next person, so like when James had a guest, I was like, get on in. So like the quicker you get started, the more time you have
to
talk with your guest. And like people didn't understand that. But like James and I got it. We're like, yeah, the more time you have on screen, the better.
Thank you. Yes.
So it's like just be fast and efficient, and we did that so often. Like every single day. I was there every single day. James was there like every other day.
Yeah, I was at one point. Yes. Yeah. But she's like, James, get in the studio. James, studio 2. I'm like, Spam.
Go. Like we're 5 minutes early. Let's go. We did that for years.
Wait, how long were you there officially?
I started 2012. Yeah, I started 2012. I was full time, and then I stepped back a couple years later, like back to halftime, and that's where you came in. So you saw me like in and out, and then I went back to full time, and then when I went back to full time, that's when you were there, basically full time too.
I was too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we hosted her. We finally hosted together for years.
Wake off the heart. That's our show, the Hearties.
Yeah. And then I left AfterBuzz TV, left the place like legit up and moved my life. And then you still stayed there, but we still obviously remained friends afterwards and still did podcasting afterwards. Yeah. So
what's funny,
those principles and foundations were still there.
Well, she also moved to my side of the world, so she left the Valley.
I did.
went to Whittier, which is on my side of town. Basically, it was like it's closer in some weird way.
Yeah. Well, we met up in Whittier. I moved to Pico Rivera.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We met up in Whittier a lot because that was like a nice kind of middle ground for us.
And we meet up. So yeah, but no, yeah, she was.
Yeah, and then I moved again, and I moved even closer to you.
And now she's in Hollywood. Living in Hollywood, but she was my second engineer, so producer, because my first girl was Alexis Torres. Always says my first. She had purple hair. It was all curly. Like, who are you? She's like, is it James Lott Jr.? I can remember. Is it James Lott Jr.? I go, yes, it's the whole 3 names. But then I met Marisa at some point. But I think because I came on I was just a guest host for a while. I wasn't official for a while. I kind of came through the back door. I just kind of came on. Then they were like, after 6 months, they're like, well, James, you probably should go through the normal channel. I'm like, but I already had done like all these shit. I had to show
the regular hosting protocol.
Yes, but what turns out was so crazy about this is I ended up hosting my own class because they were all busy. I guess there's a video they used to show, and the video wouldn't work.
Oh, yeah,
it wouldn't work.
Wow, you really take me down memory lane.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and so several folks in that class or whatever were like, you're the guy from Distant Days. And they knew who I was. So Roxy goes, James, you know what to tell people. Can you run it for a while? and that's I actually ran my own thing, and then Dario Christian comes. There's a little funny moment. Comes in eating a sandwich. And he's just like, so so this is James. He does some shows, so you guys, and I'm like, you're eating a sandwich. Like I'm just saying, I'm just eating a sandwich from people. And then the big boss, Kevin Yarrock, walked in with Sam Roberts. And they were there for a minute. I saw Kevin, and then with Sam, because I'm a big radio guy, and he was on, he's like the number 3 guy on whatever. And I go, you mean, I just had my radio show, this organizer show, I just started it. And I go, give me advice. And he goes, make it like it's your second home. Because I was there like 5 days a week, whatever. He's like your second home. Just the audience will find you. Don't chase the audience will find you. That's the 2 things he told me. And 8 years later, I was able to tell him, thank you for that advice, because it did work. I was able to tell him later.
I forgot we worked with Sam.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't.
You were there a lot.
I was like, how nice and how mean can we be on this show?
Yeah.
It might be a little too early.
Conversation. We spill tea all the time.
No, I don't. I was like, I don't want to pose myself as such a mean person so early in the morning. I honestly, I don't remember having great memories of Sam.
Okay, well, there you go.
Working with him, his personality, a lot of things.
Well, he's known.
So, like, I know you as a fan, as a regular audio listener fan, might have enjoyed him. Me as a professional working producer did not. And so, like, I think already when you brought him up, I was like, oh, right, my mind already, like, blocked him out. That's much I don't like.
That's not good.
No. So, like, I'm sorry to take his image for anyone who is a fan, but I don't remember having good memories of him. Not gonna lie. Well, but that was a lifetime ago.
It was actually, and there's some things in our insurance where I didn't get along with everybody in the insurance world. Only a few. There were some folks I didn't get along with. I had to deal
some.
With.
Come on now.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Who doesn't get along with you, James?
Well, there's some folks that are just like they're too much. Team too much. For the most part, I get along with everybody, but there are some folks who are. Well, the thing was, because Nick and I were kind of a package. My old buddy Nick Harris.
Yeah,
we were kind of a package, and we were like nobody else in the insurance industry. We were like the two. Well, there are other gay folks, but not like we were. We were just like, we're out from San Francisco. We're gay. We have our weird hair, and we dye our hair, and but we were good at our jobs. Like we took our job, like I said, we were serious. We did our jobs.
Plug it in my mic.
Oh, you mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was just talking about like how I literally ran a podcasting network, and then I forgot I have a professional mic right here now. It's so early in the morning. I was like, you don't sound right, and like all the way
She's producing.
It is too early in the morning.
Yeah.
Marisa, up with the mic.
Yeah, right. Up. I was like, how obnoxious do I want to be? Wait. No, like you want to really be professional? Here's the pop shield.
There you go, pop shield. That's right.
Wow, look at you.
I know.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. Don't be. It's all for show. Oh my god, I do have a mic.
Well, you're a producer. You can't stop producing.
I am. But...
I can fix and post. It's all great. No, it's fine. Yeah. No, but the thing is, we were so different. We stood out. And for some people, it was a little too much for them. But for most of us, they loved most people liked us. But there are folks who wanted to exude certain powers. They just felt like they were old school. A lot of white men, a lot of white straight men in this business.
This entire world.
Yeah, exactly. So the women loved us. We got along because we were all in the same boat, kind of. We were like all kind of huddled together.
Of course, women. Well, I think that because I didn't go to the other conferences that you and Nick put on. I only went to the young agents. And so the younger crowd is so much more accepting, right? And generous and kind. True. So we didn't see you guys. Like, I don't remember anybody having any issues at all at our conference because these are all 30 somethings, late 20s, 30 somethings. Yeah. So I can't speak to like the agribusiness conference.
Yeah.
Gotta kill
all the farmers.
Here, more coffee. Add more coffee.
More coffee.
Yes.
Wait, you know what's a blue ribbon?
Yeah, but years later.
Oh, you said okay.
Yeah, I mean, just no. So no blue ribbon,
Yeah.
no agri conference. Was there another one that you
We had a,
guys
we had a
did?
Palm Springs getaway every
Palm
January.
Springs Getaway, right?
That one too.
So I can see in some of those scenarios where you might have bumped into some less understanding, accepting folks, but it was just like a big party where we were. So
Oh,
no one really
whew.
spent much time thinking about who was who,
That's true. Yeah,
I
the younger
guess.
one. Yeah, that's very true. But we always came in with a good attitude. We're always like where we went, we're like we have a good attitude. And
Yeah.
you know me, Marissa too. I come in, I'm like, I'm happy to be here. Let's get this
Right.
done and let's have some. I've always been that way. I'm just like I don't do jobs half-assed. I've never been a person who's like coming with a bad attitude. Like why do that?
Same.
So that just makes everybody horrible. Makes your day go long. It's like I'm just gonna come in. It's like let's come in and let's do it. But a lot of folks we know do come in with bad attitudes and make the day go long.
Oh, I know.
I know.
And like James, and I've told this to you multiple times. That's why I always loved when you came in, because I was already at like hour 8, 9 of my day. I had already interacted with like 40, 50 people. I'm like, oh, finally a friendly face or like a friendly personality. I was like, oh
That
my
sounds
God.
terrible.
At least it's like at least someone I didn't have to worry about.
Oh,
But like, and it shifted, it would help me like push me for the next like 3 to 4 hours to finish out my day. And I'm like, all right, we got this. He would get me over that emotional hump of the day.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, reset, let's go.
but listen, it was
And
one
that's
of those
helpful.
things. You're dealing with a lot of personalities.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's that. So I don't even say anymore. Just dealing with a lot of
Yes.
personalities or folks who think they're somebody and whatever.
I know.
Or how they're
And you know what's worse? Put a camera in front of them. Then they think
exactly.
even more important.
Exactly. And so, but for me, I was like, hey, and we always had like these entrances. These first was the house where it was like a door to the living room, and it's not good. But the other one, we had a hallway. It was like this long hallway. And of course, you hear the ding, and I'm like, me. I always came with lots of bags and shit. I'm like the bag lady. And I come all the way to the back. We had a table in the back. It was like, it was our table.
We did. That was my table.
So I just came to a table.
I would let James sit at. I was like, this is the cool kids table.
The cool kids table. But I always say hi to everybody, and I was just like, I'm like, it's And when you were sick, I'd bring you orange juice and Panda Express stuff.
You did so many times. Like, I mean, I would power through. I'm like, there was like legit a time where I was super sick, I think I told you, James. I don't remember. I don't know. It's been so long. But remember when I like sprained my right quad?
Yes.
Like, my leg was swollen like 2-3 times the length. And I'm a fairly small person. And I was like still dragging my leg back and forth through the studio until my boss told me to go to urgent care. He told me to leave. I'm like, all right, fine. But like, who's gonna engineer the show?
Exactly.
So it was like, no, I was there for so much longer, and I pushed through so much shit than I should have.
And
you were always there.
And her doctor told her she had a body of an 80-year-old on the inside.
I did.
On the inside.
I was 28 years old at the time, and they literally said I had the body of an 80-year-old because, like, legit, I was having stomach issues. I was having back issues, like internal organ stomach issues. Like that place gave me so much stress and made me physically sick to my stomach.
That's terrible.
And I had 3 doctors tell me to leave. They're like, yeah, we see this problem. I'll never forget it. The guy was like, we see this problem in elderly, like 80, 90-year-olds who physically are not capable of getting themselves like out of bed, out of the house. They're like not in a young, healthy 28-year-old. They're like, you need to get out wherever you're working at and like change your life because this place is literally killing you. I'm like, okay. And I left like 9 months later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun place.
Wow. Like
therapy session. Yeah, that was a fun place.
Yes. That's what this is, get together and talk about all your stuff. So
conversation.
That's nice because I also have therapy right after this. So here we go. Like double dosage today.
You're prepped.
Yeah.
Prepped. Well, it's just like we've all had jobs and things that we should have been in, and I left. She knows I left mine. I left. That's why I left the
Yep.
insurance business. I had a toxic work environment, and I left.
Yeah.
So you got to meet me after that. So I left you, went to get up to you. I changed my whole life. But it's funny how you get in situations and you're in them, and then but up to you to realize I gotta get out. You gotta get out,
Yeah.
and you leave when you're ready.
Yeah, well, and it's also sometimes it's like one of those things, maybe like I'm also very, very stubborn. It's the Cancerian in me.
Yes. I can relate, Marisa.
Yes. Like we're very stubborn. I was like, you know what? Like push through it. Like get past it.
Yeah.
It sucks now. Just keep going. And then it gets to the point where for me, I don't know about for you, Melissa, but like when other people tell me something, well, like my mom was telling me to leave. Like my friends were telling me to leave. It was like external sources. My doctors were telling me to leave. I was like, oh, if this many people are telling me to leave, maybe I should listen to them and not me just being stubborn and push through.
Yes.
So it's like when an outside source tells you to do something, maybe you should listen. I get to that point.
I'm also anti-authority. So if somebody's coming at me in an authoritative manner, I might be like, whatever. I hope that age has matured me a little bit because I can so relate to you right now. And I'm heading into 55 and I'm all about self-care. So if something's stressing me out, I do one of two things. I leave it and come back to it later, or I just leave it.
Yeah. Just leave it.
That's my new
like
approach
that.
to stress.
Leave it.
Leave it.
I like that mentality. Like leave. Can you give me an example? Because like of what is like allowable to just leave it.
That's a good question, actually, Melissa.
Well, I do actually have an example.
Oh my God, that's funny. Great.
But it is business related. So right now the property insurance market is like horrible in California. And so there are a lot of people coming to me needing help that I can't help them. There's no thing. And I would stress about it because that's not who I am as a person, right? We're here to service and help people with their insurance needs. So it's very contrary right now to what I have spent the last 30 plus years doing. And it was stressing me out. I was getting sick. I was being like demoralized, questioning what is my purpose. All of that was happening. And then I was like, this is not going to kill me. Like, I can't help what the market is doing, but I can help how I'm responding to it. And so right there, I'm like, just leave it there. And when people call and say, hey, I need this, I'm being dropped by my insurance company, I'm sorry, I don't have any solutions for you right now. That's not easy for me to say, but that's just how it is. And I leave it there. And that's a perfect example of how I've just decided this is not going to kill me. Just leave it. Yeah. Right. And then there's another thing with food. So like I'm a very stressful eater. And so just had like a little checkup and I need to work on some things. And so rather than stress out about it, I said, okay, just make little changes so that I don't stress trying to make big change and then failing, is that perpetual cycle of self-hate. I'm not about that at all. Just make small changes. So I leave the stress with the doctor. And so I just make little changes. So that's leaving it. Like I literally park it and leave it. I don't carry it with me. That's the best way I think I can describe it.
Yeah, you don't let it dictate your life. That's nice. Yeah, I just started. First of all, congratulations. That's amazing. I just started something at the beginning of this week, like a 10-week program, a reset program with one of my Krav Maga instructors. He's a fitness nutritionist, health person. And it's literally about like habit building and habit stacking. And like, so this first week is like very, very simple things, very attainable goals, like wake up at sunrise. That quite honestly, that was pretty hard. Wake up at sunrise, but go outside like immediately and like be woken up by the natural sunlight and not by artificial light, by your cell phone or computer or what have you. So like let your body naturally wake up, and that helps like reset your circadian rhythm and all that. And then I'm also taking cold showers, which also suck. It's like it is quite possibly the worst and best things ever. So I've had today's what, the 5th day? We started Monday. I can't do math. This is like the 5th cold shower I've had this week, and like I'm very much awake. So it's like little things like that. So say the shower is only like 30 seconds, like yeah, it sucks, but and then like the next week it'll increase to 45 seconds. So like you build the habits, build the rhythm, and then increase it. So like I totally understand the small changes, because if you just like I'm usually the person who's like a cold turkey, like either go all in or go
Yes.
all out,
Yep.
but so
Oh, we're
like
very similar.
yeah,
Wow.
so something like so starting off small is actually very new to me because I'm like go right in. So this is it's challenging for me because I've never done something so small and just slowly build up to it. And I'm like, So this is 10 weeks. I was like, damn, this is a serious commitment. I might have like had I known it was 10 weeks, I might have like not have done it. like like he approached me. He's like, "Do you want to be part of this beta program?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. That sounds fun." And then it ended up being 10 weeks. I was like, that's not what I signed up to, but okay.
You'll be done by
So,
fall. Be done by fall.
no, you know what? I'll be done by my birthday week. And you
Oh,
know what?
funny. Oh,
Like
wow.
legit. And I was scheduling it out because,
Yeah.
James, you're an organizer. We
Yes.
schedule our
Yes,
life.
yes, we do.
Literally week 10 is the week where I'm traveling. I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to wake up at the ass crack of dawn on an island on my 10th week.
Right.
So I was like, we'll see. I'll let future Marissa worry about that. Because
Yep.
like habits start in like 28 days, so like I might be in a better mental space
Yeah.
by the time July comes around. I was like, oh yeah, waking up is nothing, but it's like right now in the first week I'm like, I don't know, that's my vacation time. I want to sleep in.
Mhm. You guys
Sorry,
are
that
similar.
was like a very long tangent of way of habit building and habit stacking.
Well, you guys
No, I like
you guys
that. I
are
like the
similar.
idea of walking outside too and like
Yeah.
letting the fresh air, well,
Mhm.
we're in LA, the air and the sunlight and just listening to the birds and feeling, that I'm gonna try that.
Well, see,
Absolutely.
you're talking to a guy who does that. I'm Mr. Gardener. So I'm the old
Yeah.
man now in a robe that goes outside, talk to other old men in a robe. We're all
Yep.
watering our plants. And we're like, good morning, neighbor. I'm like, I'm that person now. I'm totally that person now. Good morning, neighbor. Get off my lawn. Yeah, that's me.
But you can do that because you have a house and a proper
I know.
yard.
I know.
I'm in Hollywood proper
Yeah,
in
no.
an apartment, and it's kind of weird for me, but like fortunately, like Hollywood's actually very dead in the morning. It has a
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very busy nightlife, but it is completely dead in the morning. So when I go out, I go out on my balcony, and fortunately, no one's awake. So like I don't look like I'm a peeping tom just sitting on my balcony, just like sitting in the natural light. But I was like, you can do it in your space.
Yeah.
But for Hollywood, for like a young 30-something-year-old doing that, you're like, well, what the fuck are you doing? So early in the morning at like sunrise was like 5:49 this
Oh,
morning. I'm
wow.
like,
Yeah, right.
why? Why?
But I start saying the outdoor thing. It's a big. And my whole motto as an organizer: small steps lead to large rewards. I'm a big small steps person. I just think it just for
Yeah.
me, it's always worked out because big chunks are scary and hard and tiring, and people give up. And it's just like it's. So I say small steps will lead. They'll lead you there. It'll lead you there. I believe that wholeheartedly. They'll lead you there.
Mm-hmm.
It will.
Well,
But
it's not a
I see
small stepper. I'm a
you
runner.
got things in common. I'm looking, listening to both of you. I'm like, yeah, I see Melissa and Marissa. This is some things in common
Yeah,
there.
James, go away. Let me talk to Melissa.
I'm all bye, everybody. See
I
you
was
later.
like,
Thanks.
but bye.
Bye. Oh, I think
No,
Connection has
come
been formed.
come back.
yeah,
Very much.
well, actually, we got to end the show now.
Right.
This is good. It's my call, Marissa, for coffee and conversation. It's
What
fun again.
that's it. Sorry, I like totally like dominated
No,
that,
that's
but
the whole point. No,
it
we're
is
No,
what
fun.
it
that's the
is.
point.
That's the point.
Mm,
Yeah.
We had Tony
cool.
Moore on a couple of weeks ago. You know how Tony is, so
Oh yeah.
we had a great time.
The whole show is just Tony. And
Exactly.
did
Yeah.
he even get to speak? And Tony,
We laughed a lot. Melissa
We
loved
laughed a lot.
it.
I love Tony. I love
Love
Tony.
Tony.
Love
See,
Tony.
he was the person I took no shit from.
Exactly.
And
Tony,
like Tony's a very like his
yes.
way or the highway, and I'm like, you're in my
But I
house now.
respected Marissa because of that. But that's the whole thing. He said because
Yeah.
see, side note, Marissa would always give you an answer. And this is something I think that you and I, Melissa, can understand when people don't give you an answer, you say no,
Mm-hmm.
and you're thinking, but I see a solution. But they go, no. Why can't we do this? No, we can't. Well, like, give me something, because we're thinking it can work. So Marisa would tell you, so if we do this way, blah, 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 then you go, oh, okay, got it. Because she's the engineer producer. She knows a little more than we do. We're ideas people. We got an idea. Or she go, I can make that work. Let's just do this and we'll do that. Like, it was, the other folks there just go, no, you can't. Like, well, why? And now I bug him. So he said, Marisa, you always respected Marisa. That's the thing. I think that's what, just be direct. And we like direct.
Right.
We do like direct.
Be direct and honest, because like I hate when someone tells me no, but I also like it's the reasoning behind it. If there's a tell me why you can't do it, or tell me an alternative to it. And it's like, if I tell you no, I'm gonna say why, just the practicality of it. So
and it should go.
Not that hard to explain shit.
Is it?
If you know what you're doing.
Oh, well, therein lies the truth. When you know what you're doing, right? Things do get a little bit more simple.
Yeah. Because
let's be real, not a lot of people know what they're doing.
No, they don't. Yeah. And as Melissa knows, when I was running conferences, things come up all the time. You have to pick all the time. So, and not everybody knew what they were doing, but me and Nick, we knew what we were doing. So we handled everything. This is Coffee and Conversation with James and
Melissa
and Marisa. So
yeah.
I told you that so bad. Thank you, Marisa Serafini, for being on the show. I was just listening to our episode and Flobo's episode of Friends and Favorites. That's her podcast.
Oh, wow.
Have
you listened to it before?
I listened to mine and yours. I listened to you and Flobo's. It was good.
You didn't listen to Flobo's?
I did. She was Flobo too. Flobo's been a guest star show also.
Yeah. We have a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah, a lot of mutual friends. But I listened to you guys. I heard you guys. I was listening to you and Phil's next. I haven't listened to you and Phil's yet.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil and I, we kind of go down a therapeutic route.
I believe it. But I was like, this is interesting to listen to you guys.
I was like, you think we're bonded? Phil and I are trauma bonded for life.
Yeah, I know you guys are. I know. Anyway, so you can find our show on all of these audio streaming service platforms, from iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google. It's Coffee and Conversation with James and Melissa. Ampersands are all included. And of course, we're on the granddaddy of them all, because I'm a granddaddy, on JLJ Media on YouTube. Go ahead and follow us. We have a playlist there. It says Coffee and Conversation, James and Melissa, all there. I think our last episode with Tony is like one of our biggest, of course. We were like, it's always the whole time.
Of course.
So check that out. All the others. We do have some talks. I cry on here sometimes. I laugh on here. All kinds of stuff goes on the show. But check it out. Melissa just sits and looks pretty. So just please check it out. Check it out. If you want to see her twin sister, check out our episode too. She was on here too, Melanie.
That's right.
So check that out too. We appreciate you. We're here on Mondays. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks, guys.